Welcome to Alumni in Action, the show that brings 1077 The Bronx past and present together through the voices of those who've created in our studios and gone to shape the world. Leaders, creators, innovators, and changemakers. From late-night studio sessions to early career moves, each episode dives into the stories that prove WRRC is just the beginning. Whether you're an alum, a student, or someone who believes in the power of community and ambition, you're in the right place. This is Alumni in Action.
Welcome to Alumni in Action. My name is Owen McCarron. I'm joined by my co-host, Owen Nelson. Owen, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Owen?
Good, man. Myself, I'm doing fantastic. Today, we are joined by our second guest for the second episode of Alumni in Action. His name is Jake Serrano. He was a former Rider alum, currently working at LB Capital as a videographer and multimedia manager. He graduated in 2023, and he was a part of the radio station. So, Jake, please welcome to the show.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man? How are you feeling? Good?
Awesome evening. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have that same radio voice that I used to. He's got that pretty tailored up.
Definitely not. Well, let's just start off with some basic questions here, Jake. My voice is a little deeper right now. I think it's because of the nasaliness.
Yeah, you got a little bit of congestion.
Everyone's
going
been
on.
making fun of my super deep voice today.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's just start off with some of the basics. So, obviously, class of 23, so you're pretty much fresh out. It's only 25 right now. But when you were at Rider, what were you studying, and then what were some of your involvements?
Let's see. I studied film and television when I was here. I took a minor in like something. I just dropped it. You don't need your minor.
Fair enough.
That's a good piece of advice,
yeah, it doesn't matter. I took film and television, and then I was here in the radio station, right? So I think I was a sports director for like a year or so, and then before that I was just working in here, and then I did a little bit of the Rider News. I was in SIG-EP for a little bit. I don't know. Remember what else I did here? Lots of stuff. I think I was always involved here.
Well,
you
were one of the students who was selected to do the admittance open house speech, right?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did that. Yeah. I remember
when I did that. It was a whole
cool.
It was a cool little experience. They changed it a lot since you and I did it.
Really?
Because right now it's Emily O'Connor, another student here, and she was able to actually talk a lot more about her involvements, and they want her like wearing letters and wearing Bronc merch when she goes up there. So she gets a lot more, I think, freedom than like you did when you did it, or when I did it.
I remember I went up after Delomo Sandwich.
Yes, you did. You did go up after Delomo Sandwich, which I'm sure you've heard has changed.
Yeah, it's somebody else, right?
It's no longer Delomo, yeah.
Do they have the
sandwich?
Delomo sandwich at the...
They're getting rid of it.
Yeah. Are they really?
Right.
New president's making his own sandwich. He's making his own sandwich.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be tomato and tuna. That's what I asked him. That was my first question to him is, what's your new sandwich?
I think he had his own little IPA at the pub, too.
We had the Bronc brews.
No, but didn't Delomo had his own?
I don't know if he had his own named after him. I wouldn't be surprised. There was a lot named after him. But I just want to say again, thank you again for joining us. And we already asked you about some of your time at Rider and the opportunities that you got into. So I guess more off of branching into your own personal growth. In a few words, can you describe how Rider helped you grow and kind of helped you lock in on what you wanted to do with your career after getting out of here?
I think the first thing that comes to mind was. I think the first day I came to Rider was actually on Thanksgiving. And the only person that was here, it was like the day before Thanksgiving. I was touring schools. I went to Rowan the same day, and I had come here. And then the only person that was on this campus, crazy enough, on the day before Thanksgiving was John Moses.
Makes sense.
Of course, right? He's like, I'm like, can I go see the radio station, right? Because the film studio was closed. And he's like, or the girl was like, yeah, I could take you in there. And of course, I see this guy fidgeting with all the stuff in there. He's running around, he's sweating. I'm like, who is this guy? What is he doing? And he took 20, 30 minutes to tell me about the radio station, what was going on here. And then, I eventually got a couple scholarships. I ended up coming here on my first day. I ended up going to John, right? And I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. Thanksgiving or something. He's like, oh, I remember you, Thanksgiving. But he's like, I don't have a lot of time. You know how you walk in his office on prompted, right? He never has time. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do for you? Can I help you in any way? I'd like to get involved somehow. He was like, yeah, just write me up this script for something. I forget what it was. And he was like, just send it back to me. I need it. And one of the first scripts I did for him was he had done, I think he had become the president of the NJBA or something like that. He was just happened. And he's like, I need this script written. I don't know why he asked me to do this, but he's like, I need this script written up. And then I ended up writing up for him, and it went on all these radio stations or whatever. And then I ended up doing sports, right? And then I think that same semester or that same year, I ended up winning the that sports award from the IBS.
Yep. Yeah.
That was really cool. Didn't think that was going to happen. You really even get nominated. That's cool because there's so many people, right? So many kids doing the thing. And so that was cool. And then, right, we had all the news station come in and do interviews, right? So what was your original question?
I feel
like I was leading somewhere.
How has Ryder helped you grow?
Oh, yeah. So, right. Yeah. So you paramount all that, right, from where you come from and what you do here, right? And they instill a lot of stuff with you here, right? I think probably the biggest person I learned from was probably John, right? And the way we work in here, it's like 24/7, everything's rolling, right? It's like working a real job. Yeah. You guys know it. And so I think having that kind of guy at the helm, right, to push you and to always asking you questions and always see what you're doing and making sure you're on top of things and constantly going in a place that's like work mode, I think prepared me to come out here and do what I'm doing now, right? I'm always traveling. I'm always on the move. And even doing the ESPN show with Joe Wiz, right? You deal with lots of people who are doing their thing, want things done the next minute, and, you know, things are moving fast. It's high pace. And I think that pretty much sums up where I'm at now and how it prepares you to get out here. It's just, it's real life.
Yeah. With the preparation that you had, like, what would you say your experience was like throughout the Bronc? Because, I mean, you were here for a long time, and it's hard to cover it all, but...
What was your first year at Ryder?
Yeah. Well, I transferred here, so I went to Ocean County Community College, and I transferred here when I was a junior. So my first year here was like...
Was it 22
Was it 22? I think it was 22, because I graduated in 24, so... Yeah, it was like 22.
Oh, okay. You're class 24. 22. That's my bad, yeah.
Yeah. So I came here in 22. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my dad actually went to OCC.
Good school.
Yeah.
Community college is underrated.
I mean, it was
I went there for free.
Many years ago.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, you go there for free. How did community college prepare you for coming to Ryder?
I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
I think community college is just, I mean, listen, if you want my real low-down opinion, since I've left, right, I think there's certain things that you could do at your university that prepare you to go do things, right? But I don't think, like, at the end of the day, for me, like, all the courses and stuff, I think, like, the radio station and the outside things we did helped me, right? Yeah. But, like, all the courses, all the work you do, sometimes, like, I feel like the 4 or 5 internships I had, the work I did when I was in LA, I went to LA for 4 or 5 months, right? That's the kind of stuff that propels you forward and kind of gets you in that mindset. But, no, I think community college is a little bit underrated. But because you're getting basically redoing all your classes again, all the basic classes that you just took. Yeah. So you're just redoing them. Yeah.
And I know Owen knows, I know you know it, and I think I know it as well, at least in our very individual minds. But that point you said about John being very, very dominant about the whole 365, 24/7, radio is constantly on the move.
I think I said that on the news.
Yeah,
when I came in, I was like, they asked me the same question.
It's one of those values that he like really instilled into the students. It was also one of those things that I think for me personally really dialed me into like, okay, if this is really what it's like, which it's really what it's like, then it's like, okay, I do need to.
He doesn't
really
hold back
in.
either. He'll put you on a little suspension or something.
Oh my God!
Something wrong.
He would just throw you in there.
He
brings you into one of the studios, and depending on which one,
And honestly, and I'll ask you, in a moment here about what you really think John Moses was able to do for you and how that kind of molded you. But it's the same thing. Like there was a point during my junior year where I hit an all-time low with my work, and John said he was like, "Take the break, you need it." So I took the break.
He pulled you for a break too?
Yeah, I got all the winter break. I was basically off, and it was a nice moment to relax and kind of like really think about everything. And when I came back, we had the chat about where I am and where I want to be. Banged it out. Here we are,
Yeah,
and that mentality, that strengthened me for sure. It definitely made me a lot, hard-headed when it came to the work that we have here. So I kind of want to see like how did all that rub off onto you?
There's so many little things. He just gives you a lot of opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And so what I always say is, and I think I told you not too long ago, is when an opportunity comes your way, just take it, right? So like I told you, right, there's there's a chance to make $1,000 this weekend, right? Yeah. But circumstances, right? Yeah. Because just got told today, I would have did it, but I'm not going to be in the state, right? Exactly, so it's not that I didn't want to do it, it's just I can't. Yeah. So there's a difference, right?
I think you said that to me like the first day we were on set together. Yeah. Because I met Jake when we were filming. For his Film 3 project, which that was its own story.
That was a doozy.
Yeah, but
that was a story. I could tell that story if you want me to.
That
was a crazy story.
We could. Man.
I could dive into that a little bit, but no, I just think take every opportunity. Right when I was in LA for my semester, I did 3 internships, and I worked the job for about a month and a half. Right, Riley Dunn got me on a studio set. We worked at Amazon Studios, and I was a production assistant for like a month or so.
That's awesome.
Working on a new show that came out in the fall. It was like a spinoff of Shark Tank. It was called Buy It Now.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's an actual show that's on Prime. You can go watch it.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was going to ask you later on about, since you were a part of the TV studio, and I feel like the TV studio and the Bronc, while they're very different, they both have their points of involvement that really help a student grow. I was going to ask you about your semester in LA and the benefits and like what that was able to do for you, because it sounds like you had some pretty good work out there.
I think it was worth it. Like, I just think the time I would have spent here versus what I did over there, I think that was like one of the, no, I had to pay for stuff here, but like that was pretty much the bulk of my bill here, right? Was to go out there, and I thought it was worth it because, like I said, I did basically four jobs out there, and you're out there on your own doing your own thing. I just think it was way worth it, right? So I went to Fox Studios, right? That was cool. Warner Bros. We went out to all these different places, right? And you meet all these different people, and you do all these different things. I worked for this lady. I was doing her podcast and her social media. I worked for this other lady for the Grammys. I was at the Grammys. That was cool. I brought these people around in this gift suite, all the producers, singers, people who we invited all these people, right? I was like emailing Dolly Parton.
Oh my
she
God.
responded back to me like, I can't make it, so sorry. I was like, oh, hey. But yeah, I had to reach out to all these people, and then I'd go work the event. So that was cool. Like, I was just like touring people around, but that was like, it was more like production. And then when I was doing social media for that lady, right? And then I was editing for this other lady. And I was doing like her TLC travel show where she would eat and like travel. And she would show you like the cool places to eat wherever she would go. So she went to Canada, she went down to Florida, she went to like Naples and all these different places. And then, like I said, that production job I worked. So it's just a lot of different things. Yeah, and then, I still got time to relax and do a lot of fun things and experience the area, right?
What kind of stuff did you do in your free time?
Well, we had a Universal Pass. So
Universal
of course
Pass
I checked out. Oh, we were only 20 minutes away from Universal, so of course I went to go check out Universal. Get some In-N-Out, right? You guys like In-N-Out burger?
Yeah. Honestly, that was the only affordable thing because I went to spring break. I went to the spring break in LA just because I wanted to see what it was like and the opportunities that I would get out of it, and everything was so expensive, and it made me really worried. But then I went to In-N-Out, and it was really good.
It was good.
It was good food. Like, it's not as good as everyone says.
Actually, a lot of people really hype it.
I had a better burger, though, when I was just out there, because I was just there last week for work. Oh, really? And I went to Mel's Diner. I think it's an American Graffiti, that diner. It's in a movie.
Mel's Diner.
Yeah,
I'm writing that down.
You can look it up. I think it's in a movie. And, dude, the smash burger there, off the chain. Like, it was so good. But, California doesn't have bagels, so.
Yeah, they don't have bagels?
Nah, they're
What were you
nasty.
eating for breakfast every day?
What was I eating for breakfast? I think I ate, cereal or eggs or pancakes, right? Because I had an apartment out there, so whatever I was making. But they don't have breakfast like we do here. They don't have diners or anything. I mean, they have diners.
Do they
but
really
it's
not?
It's kind of.
No, really. I mean, you can't really beat a New Jersey diner.
It's nasty.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to get back on track here, and I want to ask you a quick question and kind of see like where your head was at and why you think that specifically. You said earlier like there was no need for the minor. You came in, you had your major, and then you dropped the minor. And it's like I know I have a minor in sports media, and at this point, it's like I'm kind of just banging it out. Yeah, like
you filled it? I never really filled mine, so I was just like I'm not doing it.
My minor's pretty much already filled out, and honestly, I think with where I'm at now, I came in and I wanted to do radio and podcasting, and I wanted to be a host of sorts behind the mic, and I guess that's what I'm doing now. And I did that on Wake Up Rider. But my talents have shifted, and like my actual end game has definitely shifted from on air to more of the behind the scenes. Like I want to do the engineering work.
Oh, okay.
So my minor like really never truly applied to the whole engineering, although like in some areas. But I just want to see like where your head's at and why you think like you don't really need the minor, just focus on your concentration. Like why do you specifically think that? Not that I
So
like,
as he says this, I actually was gonna say to you, maybe if I took a different minor, maybe I would have got more use out of it, right?
Got it.
Like so.
Okay.
I probably should have taken a minor in like business or some kind of business marketing or something. I feel like that would have been helpful. Well, because I took a minor that I already had like half the classes checked off, I just kind of didn't really even focus. And it was like, I think it was like so we had here and then it was like broadcast journal. It was like a minor that I didn't even need because I was already doing all this stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
So it was kind of useless. So I think you have to pick a minor that I think sometimes like you don't know what you're gonna do when you get out of here.
Yeah.
So you kind of just get stuck in your own head. Now thinking back at it, I wish I would have taken like so I could have had a few more classes of business or something. Not that it would have counted towards me in any way for whatever requirement they needed, but it would have been good to know now that I'm doing all this stuff because I do a lot of business. I work at LB Capital, right? So I do video, podcast, social media, right? For Lance Bachman, it's his brand, right? He's an entrepreneur. And then he has all his brands, and all his brands are home service companies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with a lot of business during the day, and I've learned a lot, but it would have been nice to know like some of that beforehand.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
No, I have a question about working like now. Like, what does your day-to-day kind of look like working with LB Capital?
My day-to-day. So
I'm sure it's different every time.
yeah, every day's a little different. So like last week I was working on a couple of different videos. We have our conference coming up. So I made like a informational kind of like hype video.
Well, what is
like,
conference?
It's called a roofing process conference.
Oh, okay.
And it's not really about roofing. It's a conference for like all home service people, and they'll like Tim Tebow's gonna come. Jesse Cole from the Savannah Bananas will be there. You guys know Jesse Cole?
Yeah.
So like it's all these different speakers and stuff, and people are gonna come and learn. And for 2 or 3 days in Marco Island in Florida, so I'll fly down there, do the event at the Marriott in Florida, and
that's what you're telling me
it's a
about,
big event though. I got to make all these ads and promos, right? So last week I was making this big video where I think I was telling you earlier, I made an AI of his voice, right? So I did a little voiceover, and then all the different B-roll clips of everything that was going on, and I matched it to the script, and then testimonials and stuff that we have, which is like a video interview.
Yeah.
Someone saying like a 5-star review of like Lance or the brand or the conference, right? And you insert those, and then I made like a whole promo out of that. And then we have like our shop tours and masterminds and winner circle stuff, which is like their coaching groups, educational groups, and they flood people in with those, and they teach them like pretty much how they built and sold 6 different companies. But yeah.
Interesting. I do want to talk a little bit more about your involvement with LB Capital, especially because I know Owen as well has kind of been getting a little bit involved over there as well. So that'll be very interesting. And we'll build off of that after just a quick break here for some underwriting announcements on 107.7 The Bronc. Welcome back to Alumni in Action. My name is Owen. That is Owen as well. And we are joined by Jake for this second episode here of Alumni in Action. And where we left off, we were kind of talking about some of your experience over at LB Capital. And I kind of want to dive into that a little bit more. You said he's an entrepreneur. He's got a lot of different branches. And off the air for a little bit, we were talking. Just give me a quick vibe on when you started working for them and how long it's been, and how you kind of got introduced, and just an overall, rundown of the work that you do.
All right. Before we do that, I told you we're gonna get fired up.
Fired up for the second part of this episode here. The energy level is switched.
Let's see. So where did I start there? Actually, when I came back from LA, I was calling John on the phone, right? Because the oh crap moment hits. I'll try and sway away from the bad words for you guys. They cut out too much. But the hits right when you're like, oh, I'm gonna graduate in like 3 months, and I was like, oh well, what am I gonna do for the summer, right? Well, I was applying for a lot of jobs, and it was like February or March or whatever it was, and I'm like, okay, well, I kind of need to do something when I get back, because I get back in April, I'm done, graduate in May, and like, what am I gonna do? You kind of just don't even know. So I applied for like a million things. A lot of sports-related things, video jobs, stuff at like the Link and Blue Claws or whatever they call it, the Thunder, or all this different stuff. And this one guy got back to me, and he was like, yeah, I can get you a job. It was like some baseball team up in North Jersey. I think they're called like the Jackals or something. It was some like video, social media. Have you ever heard of them? And he was like, yeah, I can get you in, but we can't pay you. And it was like a 2-hour drive, and I would work for free. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. And I was like, you kind of sit there and you're like, oh wow, well, what am I gonna do?
That's just,
I'm not working at ShopRite.
Yeah, it's loss after loss.
I need to figure out what I want to do, right? I have some pride, so I want to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I called John. I'm like, listen, I need help. Like, if you ever hear of an opening, let me know. I want to be first in line. Like, I don't care what I have to do. You need more help. Like, I need a job when I get out of here. And it's like, I won't go with that one. And so I think sometime on my way back, before April, before I got out of there, he calls me up and he's like, or maybe it was on my way back. That's what it was. When I had come back, I still hadn't had a job. I had interviewed for all these places. And I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? And so John calls me up and he's like, I got something for you. Do you want it? I'm like, let me hear it. Like I'll take anything. I told you to take any opportunity.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Sean Miller called me up, who was a guy who did the ESPN show with me like once or twice.
Yep.
And I had met him, and I knew him, and he knows John, right? And because he did it with Joe Wiz. And he's like, you got anybody that can do video? We're looking for somebody at LB Capital that could use help. And John's like, yeah, you want? I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm like, just tell me where to go, tell me what I got to do, and I'll be there.
No hesitation.
So meanwhile, I go to the interview, right? It's a very unique place where I work. It's not like anywhere you normally go, right? very high, intense energy.
Oh, gotcha.
Like when you meet Lance for the first time, it's like
He's got a lot.
you know, he's doing a lot of stuff. He's a multimillionaire, right? So he, you know, sometimes he's just like
He's thinking of
you're
other
in and out,
things,
it's
yeah.
business. So, you know, I go in there and I'm like, man, this place is intense. Like, kind of strange. Like, there's a lot going on in here. And so they told me I'd be producing their podcast and like doing video and social media, right, cutting up clips. And I meet Lance, and he's like this intense guy, right? You know, you get in there, it's just like kind of intimidating, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to work here. Like, this is a weird place, right? And I went back home. My mom was like, I was actually in my apartment at the time over here, and she was like, well, how'd it go? And I was like, well, you know, I don't know. Like, I told all these things, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to work there. And she's like, well, you know, you could always. I'm like, no, I think I'm just going to do it because you never know what's going to happen. I can't think about it now. Like, oh, it's strange. Like, I just got to go do it.
Yeah.
And he's such an interesting dude. But I got there, I started working, and I've been there a year and a half now. I've done probably over like 20 or 30 different trips, right? Like the year before I've been to New Orleans. I've been to California a couple times.
Wow.
I've been to Florida multiple times. Georgia. We'll probably fly down to Alabama soon. We'll go to Indiana soon, right? Because he partners with these companies, and we got to go there and film all their stuff, right? So I was just in Charleston this summer. Last summer I was in Atlanta. I was in Dallas this year.
You're getting this travel all paid for?
Yeah, they paid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just in California for a week last week at this event called Pantheon Service Titan, which is like a publicly traded company. It's a CRM that does all these different things for all these home service companies, right? And they manage there. So we went to their event because he speaks. He's like a speaker too. And then I've been like all over. So we were just in, where was I? St. Pete this year too. We were in New Orleans this year. I was in San Antonio this year, like I told you, Dallas. Yep. I was in Vegas not too long ago.
Really
I was in Phoenix.
all over.
Like I've been all over the country. It's been pretty neat. And then I took a short little vacation trip to San Diego, and then I was in LA in my time, and then I've just been like all over the place.
I do want to ask you. So my uncle does a lot of freelance film, and he travels all over the place, and he's worked with Fox Sports. He actually works on the sideline cart there, but he travels a lot for every game, and it's like, does that travel get to you at a certain point? Like you're constantly in different time zones. You're always on your feet. Now,
I like it, but there comes a point where you're like midway through the trip, you're like, man, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't mind going places. I think it's cool, but there's comes a certain point in time where it's just like, man, I just want to the week before when we were there for like 6 days, I was like, like the third day, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But like you just do the job, you get out there and you go do it. But no, I don't really mind the travel. I'm used to it at this point. It's like clockwork.
Are there any places that you've been that like you loved so much that you didn't have that kind of burnout?
Georgia was cool. I actually will say Georgia was pretty cool.
Georgia
The first
is
place.
beautiful.
So I'll tell you this story. The first place I ever flew out to was Atlanta, Georgia for them. Right? It was a Friday afternoon, like 3:00. And think about this, right? Normal people go home at 5. I usually get home at 6. It takes me an hour now. We're at a different office, so I just got home. Right? That's why I told you I was a little late because I was eating. So just imagine this, right? It's like 3:00 on a Friday. I had just started working there. Like it's like my third or fourth week. Like I'm pretty in. And my coworker at the time, who had already been there for 2 months, he's out. He's out on vacation. He's taking like a little trip. And this other guy who just started, he's fresh. He just started there, and maybe like the week, just that week. And they're like, Lance calls up. He calls up Jaleesa, who's our EA. And he's like, yeah, I need someone to fly out to Atlanta on Sunday at 2:00. Like we got to get someone down there filming for Roof and Pups, which is a company we have.
Just gotta take
and
the
he's
call.
like, who's taking it? And I'm like, 2:00. And remember, I hadn't flown. Like I'm not used to it yet. I haven't gone anywhere. And I'm like, 2:00 Sunday. Like, what am I doing? Like, where do I go? I need a shot list, right? Like I'm not prepared. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, I guess, because the other guy didn't know, like, I was just in a little bit more than he was, and the other guy wasn't here, and the new guy, he didn't know what was going on, so I'm like, I'll do it. I fly out on Sunday, get together a shot list, talk to the people down there, right? I land. The first thing that happens when I land, there's no gate for the plane. I sat in the plane for an hour. The trip's already I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And I get there, I film like 6 or 7 commercials, testimonials, B-roll, people doing stuff, whatever, whole shot list. I get out there, I make a whole bunch of stuff, right? It comes out great. Didn't have a problem. But I will say Georgia was really cool. And I just got thrown into the middle of a fire. And
well, that's an opportunity.
I was pretty much down there by myself, right?
Yeah.
So you're you're your own producer and director. You're doing your own things. And I had to come with the own right because my marketing director had gotten pneumonia, dude. Like everything that could have happened on that trip went wrong. The new guy who was asking for stuff. Sometimes I had to get stuff sent. Like his dad died or something, and like he was out, and I was like,
you were going through trial by fire.
And I was like, well, I'm just gonna do what I know best. You just kind of have to go off your gut and instinct, and I was just doing my own thing.
It's funny because John says that I'll make a mistake in this profession, and John will be like, that's the media world. He goes, you have to expect the unexpected. So I mean, you did exactly what we know is you took an opportunity when it was given to you, and then everything around you started going like, whoa, what is going on right now? But you have to adapt, and that's kind of what we do in the field.
I was down there for 3 days. The worst thing that happened, well, I will say Atlanta was pretty cool. There's some spots maybe that weren't so cool, but I would say I was in Marietta, and then we were in Atlanta. So I don't know. I just thought it was a nice, it looked like a nice place to live, like where I was. And then I would say the worst thing that happened to me was I was doing one last shoot. I had the drone up in the air. I was getting some aerial shots, and here's another kicker to that. I did not know how to fly a drone that Friday before I left. And I was like, yeah, you should bring a drone out there because you're going to want to get people on the roof and stuff. And I was like, how do I fly a drone? I don't know how to fly one. I never did one. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to learn. That Friday night, I went home. I went back to my parents' house. I think I wanted to go see my parents before I left. I sat there on YouTube for like an hour, watched a whole 2-hour YouTube video on how to fly a drone.
Oh, jeez.
I effectively learned how to fly the drone. I flew it around my house video, right? And now I'm pretty good at it. I'm like the only one that really flies it in the office.
Really? That's how you adapt.
Probably get a license. But anyway,
maybe that would be helpful.
But anyway, I flew it, and you know what happens? I'm on the last shoot, last thing. The guys call me, right? Hey, I'm coming to pick you up for the airport. Right? I'm coming. I'm like, okay. The drone's in mid-flight, right? Now there's, it's. You got to be careful, right? Because there's trees, it's windy, you're on a roof, people are flying things around. Okay, so I'm on the phone. I got it stationary in the middle, and he's like, all right, I'm coming. All I hear is... I was like, oh, crap, what was that? And I just see the drone plop on the ground. No. It had, when I hit land, because once you hit land, it's locked. Yeah. As it was landing, I guess I was a little close to the tree. And as I'm bringing it down, it just got whooshed a little bit, and it just clipped the smallest leaf. It didn't even clip the branch. And all of a sudden, I see, you know how you watch things on slow-mo, almost like you're just like,
replaying in your head.
Here we go. And that thing just went crud on the thing and broke on the way back. Long story short, it got fixed or whatever. But I was just like, of course, as soon as I'm ready to leave, anything that could have went wrong on the trip probably went wrong, and like anything that came out of the trip that I like the way the trip went, you're like, I'm screwed. But like then it ended up coming out, you fix things, you figure it out. But
well, we probably have time for about one more here. So Owen, I kind of want to throw it to your direction there, especially because you guys work at the same place. You've been doing some work. So you got anything else for us?
I mean, I'm kind of curious now that you're in your post grad and everything like that, and you're working. Do you have any other plans for what you want to do after this, or do you want to rise in the company you're currently at, or like what do you want to do?
These seem like questions I shouldn't answer on here.
It's almost like you signed an NDA.
Yeah, I did. What do I want to do after? Here, I'll tell you.
Or just like, what are your plans?
No, I'll just be honest. I don't care. Because he always says like we're always going to move on. We're always going to do other things, right? That's Lance. That's what he says. That's what happens, right? You move on. It's life. Yeah. So here's what I'll tell you. What I would like to do eventually is I've been there so much now that I actually kind of want to open my own business.
Oh, really?
So funny enough, the drone store, I think it would be cool to open up like a drone kind of media company in the home service space or retail space or something, right?
That'd be cool.
Because I actually just did a job where I was flying up the drone, taking drone pictures of a house. I have to send them the photos, but they're listing their house or whatever. So I took that opportunity and just took pictures of someone's house, right? Get a little retail experience there, right? And then they actually invited me back to go do the inside of their house, which was cool.
With the drone or just?
No, I'll just go around inside and do the pictures or whatever. Because they liked me so much. They had someone else do it, but whatever. Anyway. So I think that would be cool at one point to do that, right, and do it early enough so I could figure it out. If it fails, it fails. I'm only 23. I'll be 24 on Friday.
Yeah,
so if it fails, it fails. We're good. And then I'd like to either before I do that or probably before that because it wouldn't make any sense. I'd like to just maybe either do like a production gig, get on some kind of set one more time, like go work at the NFL or something something like that. Go do production one more time because I always wanted to be a producer.
Yeah, cool. You gotta give yourself the chance.
That would be like my layout.
I like that. Well, Jake, again, I appreciate you for coming on for Alumni in Action. A lot of insightful stuff.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy early birthday this Friday, 24. So happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
And keep pushing, man. It sounds like you got a really good setup going for yourself there.
Make sure you eat right. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eat the vegetables, yeah.
Well, again, thank you, Jake, and for me and Owen Nelson, that is going to do it for this episode of Alumni in Action, and we will see you guys all next time.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Alumni in Action. If there's one thing we've learned today, it's that the 1077 The Bronc experience doesn't end at graduation. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing their journey, and to you, our listener, for being a part of the 1077 The Bronc community, wherever you are in the world. If you like what you heard, you can visit 1077thebronc.com/alumni in action as a way to listen and watch the show on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Spotify, and on our YouTube channel. Until next time, keep chasing your goals, honoring your roots, and taking action. Because once a Bronc, always a Bronc.